3 Yoruba kings who falsified the eating of a king's heart before ascending the throne. Welcome to the news and please subscribe to our channel. Traditional rulers are of one of the categories of people who have the deepest understanding of culture and traditions. Before you can ask anyone about the facts of a kingdom, you should know that nobody knows the tradition of that kingdom more than the king. In the history of culture and traditions in the Yoruba land, there have been different stories, theories, and rumors about the traditions of the Yoruba people. Some of these traditions are true, used to be true, or are not true at all. The selection of a king in the Yoruba kingdom is one of the events that requires some traditional practices. For example, kings are always mandated to go into seclusion for days, weeks, or even months before they could be properly crowned as the king of their land. Seclusion is a period of time when the prospective kingship candidate is put in isolation, away from other people. It is believed that this period is when the king gets familiar with the spiritual forces of the land. Interestingly, for several years, people have been wondering if the rumored tradition of a prospective kingship candidate eating the heart of his predecessor is true. Thankfully, 3 different powerful kings in Yoruba land during their different interviews with Punch News clearly stated that the tradition is untrue. They do not practice anything like such. The 3 kings who falsify this belief include the Akinru of Ikinru land in Osun State, Oba Rauf Olayiwola Olawale, the king in 2018, disclosed that eating of human heart during the process of installing a new king is entirely false. He never did anything like that during his time. 2. Olugbo of Igbo land in Ondo State, Oba Aboteru Akinrutan. In 2018, this king made it clear that there is no tradition as eating human heart. It is entirely false and he never did such. This was according to his statement. 3. Oba of Lagos, Oba Rilwan Akinyolu. In his interview with Punch in 2016, Oba Rilwan said eating human heart for ritual is a false tradition, and in his town, nothing as such is practiced. I am sure these 3 kings have been able to enlighten us with their knowledge of this particular tradition discussed in this article. Well, tradition is beautiful, culture is beautiful, it is unique, it is, how am I going to put it now? To those who practice and believe it, or to people of that particular tribe that owns culture, culture is beautiful. But of course, there are some practices that, we keep hearing the rumors and we just believe them like that. They keep hearing rumors of like this one now. Imagine having to eat, like, how do you even believe it? How do you even believe that you eat the heart of, like, are you a cannibal? Sincerely. So, thank God that this particular air has been cleared, and I know there are many others that people have been believing just for the sake of believing. I mean, like, eating human hearts. Like, how? Is it cooked? Is it prepared? Like, no. So, there are other traditions, and not just Yoruba traditions now. Traditions in the Tiv, in the Yoruba, in the Efik, in the Bibio, in the Igbo, in the Hausa, every other part of Nigeria that people just kind of, like, I do not know how the story just, came about, and, people just caught it like that and they just believed it like that. And I tell you, some of those stories now are going to be what is even going to be causing prejudice to this sort of tribes. Yes, people can be that, can just be that gullible. Like, you heard something, you don't even know if it is true, you don't know if it is false, and all thanks to this our generation. Your children will ask you why, how do you know it's true? How do you tell you? How do you know it's true? If you don't tell me, how do you know? They will want to question you. Children can be very inquisitive. But some of our adults, they just heard that rumor and they carried it as true. And, I don't know this thing about asking questions. The previous generation before us, I don't know, they see it as they're not disrespecting, when you don't ask questions, you're a good You can never come to the light if you do not ask questions, my dear. You have to be very, very inquisitive about things. It will clear your doubt and it will save you from having to believe a lie for a very long time. Sincerely. Imagine you come into a particular environment and you are told that you're not to bath with tap water. That if you bath with tap water, that the rivers, the goddess of the river will come and something will happen in the night and that, and you just kind of believe it. You don't ask questions, how true is this? And maybe you stay in that community for one reason or the other. Maybe you're a serving corps member and all those things. You do not ask questions. I'm not saying ask questions and be rude about it, but you also want to know more. Like you dig in more. What is the fact behind this thing? Why is this thing like this? Yes, I'm not saying it is wrong, but why is it like this? You will find out that even when you ask the why, that it's only few people that could tell you the why. It is only few people that can come out and tell you, and I can say a lot of traditions. You come out and you hear it and you're like, yeah, like, no, like this one now. It's like, how do you eat a human heart? Like how? So, some people just believe it like that and they hold on to it and, they pass it down from generation to generation. Like, no, this thing is done like this, so it is not done like that. So, and, it will get to one generation, they'll ask, but why is it done like this? Then you now start going back to trace because as you're asking the next person is saying, that's what they told me. We did not ask question. And it is only that particular generation that asks questions that you will see that finally they ask the question and they were able to get to someone who knows the reason why the reason will now be gotten from. Else, you're going to be continuing ignorance, not knowing if it's true, not knowing if it's not true. Okay, particular incident might have one and it might just be a coincidence with a particular culture. And before you know it, it is just carried like that. And it just kept going and going and going. And so it is really, really good to ask questions sincerely so you don't get lost. And not asking questions does not mean you have to be rude about it. You have to be very, very very, very calm about it and polite about it as well. Because asking a question saves the day. It opens the well of knowledge to you. In asking questions, you're going to find out more. Not just about culture now. Not just about tradition. More that had it been you have closed your mouth, that particular knowledge, you would have just passed you by like that. So, at least the air has been cleared on this particular culture. And I know some other cultures exist that has just been, passed down orally that has no facts, they have no evidences, and they're totally false. On this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.